Voice of the farmers. Don't touch it. Ohun àwọn àgbẹ̀. Má gbé kúrò ńbẹ̀.
In the heart of the country, yeah, we all have some friends. Thank God for the farmers. Nobody's working harder. There's no denying we rely on them to survive. Yeah, let's hear it.
Good morning, everyone listening to us out there. My name is Garuba Afizolumide. I'm going to be your host on this podcast session. Today, we are going to be talking about the roles that our youth can play in attaining food security.
Thank God for the farmers.
Yes, I want to welcome you once again to Voice of the Farmer, where we celebrate, educate, and promote farmers.
Celebrate celebrity, big cars, and diamond rings.
Remember, I do say this every time that when you eat today, thank God and thank farmers.
Can be found.
And that is the song you are listening to. Thank God for the farmers.
When
We
all
appreciate the farmers for what they are doing for feeding the nation. Thank you for feeding the nation. We appreciate you.
nobody's working harder.
Today, we are going to be looking at something very important, something you want to learn from as well. Because it is obvious that in our country, we have issue with food insecurity.
We're sweating water.
And that is why we come up with a guest today that will be talking to us about the roles our youth can play in attaining food security in Nigeria.
God for the farmers.
My name is Garuba Afizolumide. Once again, I'm going to be your host on this podcast session. It's going to be very short and brief because we want to talk about something very important. And this is not going to be the end of the podcast session today. We are going to be talking more about something you need to know about agriculture.
There's a word that never.
Yes, I have my guest in the studio today. Let me just go straight to her so that she'll be able to introduce herself to people that are meeting her for the first time, so that she'll be able to tell us what she do as well. Good morning, ma. Yes, for the sake of people watching you, or let me say meeting you for the first time, I want you to please kindly introduce yourself to everybody watching us, and I want you to be audible because I know you can talk more than this.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, viewers. My name is Ahmed Rukayat, Mrs. Solaleru. I'm a fish farmer, a professional fish farmer. I studied aquaculture and fishery technology from Delta State University, and it's been 9 years counting. By next year, April, I should be 10 years on the field. So it's quite a journey. My business name is Aquaria Global Service. I'm the youth representative of African Women Processor and Traders Network and the Nigeria chapter. And I'm also the incoming Biasima Business Women Secretary. So it's been an honor. And like he introduced me, I actually won the Best Aquaculture and Fish Farmer of the Year last year. That's 2023. So been on the field ever since.
Okay. Thank you very much for that introduction. When it comes to farmer, looking at her, you'll be thinking, some people have different perception about farmer. When they see farmer, they expect them to see them being dirty. And, it is when I saw Mrs. Rukaya, that was why I know that you can be a farmer, you can also slay as well. So she's the slave farmer.
We rely on them to survive. Yeah, let's hear it for the farmers who keep us fed and warm.
Now we'll be going straight to our guest that we'll be talking about something you want to learn from today. We have different roles our youth can play when it comes to attaining food security in Nigeria. But I need to affirm something. She won the best fish farmer in the year 2023, and she's doing very great. When it comes to the voice of that is the fish farmer, that is aquaculture sector. She's doing very great. So I want you to be more audible, because people out there are trying to tell us that they are not really getting what we are saying, and they really want to understand and at least learn from you. Because as an expert in the field, definitely you need to let us understand what are the roles that our youth can play in attaining food security. Now, let me start by this. Getting to know about food security, everybody have different perception about what a particular topic means. When you say food security, to some people it may mean something else. But to you, as an expert in the industry, let me say in the aquaculture sector, what does food security mean to you?
Okay, food security, like it stated, food is what we consume every day. And the security in it is having access to this food. For you, for me, to be able to afford and access that food you consume that make you healthy, that make you live long, live lively, is what is known as food security. It's not employing the security agency that we all know. No. We are talking about the food aspect of it. So food security is you being able to afford, and not just afford the food, assess it. Accessibility of that food is very important. So those are the things food security really entails. That's when you know that you can afford this food, you have access to it, and when you consume it, you're looking good. You don't have stomach upset. So that's what food security means.
Thank you very much. I said it that everybody have different perception about a particular topic. Now she let us understand that, the security there doesn't mean you are employing maybe the army, or you are employing the soldier, or you are employing maybe anybody just to secure your food now. Well, some people might think when you hear food security, that is the security that is securing the food now. So, but what it means is that affordability of food and also having access to that food, that is what food security means. Thank you very much for giving us that insight. Now, going straight to you, looking at you, it is very obvious that you are a youth, and definitely you are doing very great. So we want to appreciate what you are doing so far. Talking about feeding the nation, the youth are doing a very great job too. So let's go straight to the business of the day now. Talking about the roles our youth can play in attaining food security. It is obvious and nobody can say they don't know. Even the blind know that, yes, we are suffering something in the country now that is food insecurity, because the food are very expensive and they are not even available as well too. So now, what roles do you think our youth can play in attaining food security?
You see, we have the training aspect of it. Some people have the strength to farm, like the PWDs. Those people with disabilities, they have the knowledge, but they don't have the strength to move out. So you can do the social media training. You can do the social media entrepreneurs. So these are the things the youth out there should look out. Farming is beautiful. We are always hungry. We eat every day. So why are you relaxing and want to do things that people are already doing? So we need to involve our youth, the female folks, the male folks. There are ways and aspects you play that you can play. There are places you fit in. All you just need to do is to know where you fit in, you know your strength. And as an aquaculturist, also a female, I know my strength is in hatchery and processing. So when I introduced myself, I said I'm the youth representative of African women. That's Office.net. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, so in that aspect, what I talk about is I advocate for value chain, value addition. So as a female, and being a mother is not easy. So these are the things you can do at the comfort zone of your home. So as a youth, you need to start looking different sector, not just going to farm. Okay, you want to own a big farm. There are different sectors you'd fit in. We have the lecturers. They are farmers, indirectly. We have the writer. They are farmers, because when you read book, you learn more. We have the trainers. We have the entrepreneurship. We have the marketers, logistics. These are things that you can do and you still look good. You need to slay in your businesses. You don't allow people working in the back to oppress you. So look at you, look at other people, look at people that have trained. You can see them, they are doing well in this sector. So this aspect is what the youth needs to look on. No, you don't have to own a farm to become a farmer, no.
Yes,
So
I think I want to start from that angle, that you don't have to own a farm before you become a farmer. That is a very good one. Some of our youth out there don't really understand that we have different value chains in agriculture. Agriculture is wide and very big, that it can accommodate almost everybody, because there are different sectors that all of us can fit into. Now, going back to you, you are talking about the roles our youth can play. You are talking about the social media. You're talking about they should not own a farm. They can start something by themselves. But now, let us look at the challenges that they can face. It is very important to let people know that, yes, you are coming into this business. It is not easy. You said you've been in the business for 9 years now. I think it is not every day you make money from it. That is so. You need to let them understand that, okay, these are the challenges you are going to face as a youth if you are trying to attain food security, and there are ways in which you can overcome those challenges. So what are the challenges you faced while growing up, while starting up your business, and how have you been able to overcome them?
I'm going to use myself as an example. Before I owned my own business, I worked for someone. Ever since I graduated, I always work on a farm. So the first job I got was on a poultry farm.
Okay.
So I went there, they saw myself
sorry to cut you short. You worked on a poultry farm. Do you read poultry, or maybe you read animal science? You read fishery. How come you go into fishery, into poultry?
Nigeria as a whole, we always believe that it's not what you learn, you work with. So immediately I finished, and a friend said, you're a farmer. There's an interview. Come on. I said, poultry. How do I cope? He said, come, you will learn. I said, okay, fine. I'm always open to learning. So I went there. It was challenging because we had 4 guys. I was the only female. And my boss said, you are the female, you should be able to do some things. So he said, since you don't have the knowledge of poultry farming, why not go for a training? So he took me to one farm in Osun State.
Okay.
Deity Farm, to be precise, one of the biggest poultry farm in Nigeria. So I stayed there for 3 months. There I learned how to do poultry brooding very well.
So that is brood. That means you breed from the egg.
From the
okay,
yes,
you do the archery,
yes,
everything like that.
Yes, for
okay.
3 months.
Okay.
So I came back and he brought 45,000 birds. That was the first bird, and it was challenging. But till date, I can tell you, there is no way I'm going to brood bird and I'm going to lose. You know why? Because I sacrificed, not just, I was not earning money. If you see me then, I was like pencil, but I learned. That was 2015. What I learned then is still with me till date.
Nice.
So that's one of the challenges. You don't have to wait till you get it. You have to go for it as far as you are hungry for knowledge. You know what you want. When I graduated, I said, when I went for my IT, I was like, I can start this farming as my business, but I don't know what it entails in the field. I was like, is it not fish farming? I'll start my own farming. But the real life is when you're on the field, when you're on your own, it's not easy. So when I came back, I brooded 45,000 birds successfully.
45,000 birds successfully?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's massive.
To point of lay. So for the first time, till date, if he wants to brood bird, he'll call me, please, can you come around? It was challenging. It was not funny. It was not funny. I'm telling you the fact, it was not funny. But it's a success. It's a plus to me. And ever since then, wherever I go to and I train them how to brood birds successfully, it's a plus to me on that aspect. So I brood birds successfully. So one of the challenges you can face is having the right knowledge. It's not money. Money is not everything. When I learned this, I didn't know that I would make money from it. So having the right knowledge is one of the challenges you face. Most farmers are not a farmer. They didn't study fisheries. They didn't study poultry. They didn't study livestock. But they are into farming. How do you do this? One you need to do is go for the right knowledge. That's one of the challenges most youths are, because they don't know who to meet, who to go to, who to run to, because most of the knowledge now is expensive. Knowledge is expensive.
That's it.
So you out there, if you have this knowledge, you have to make use of it. I have some of my colleagues that study fisheries, but they are sitting at home doing nothing. They spent 6 years in university sitting down at home doing nothing. And we clamor for fish every day. How do we want to achieve it if you are not on board? We need you. We are youth and we have the strength. Our fathers and mothers are weak. So we are the ones that will come up. So after having the knowledge, another thing is capital. Because you can't have capital, you can't have the knowledge and not have capital. How do you do it? The advice I give to people is collaboration. What do I understand by collaboration? We are in Lagos State, and we have LASCAFAN, that's the Lagos State Catfish and Allied Farmers, the Lagos chapter. We have professionals. You as a student, let me even talk to the fishery student. So if you're watching me out there and you're a fishery student, you have you go for your industrial training, and you said, now I learned this. What do I do after graduation? You can go back to the farm where you do your IT. You start from there. Even though it's little, you are earning. You save. You don't have expenses apart from feeding and clothing. So if you're good and you really know what you want, there are things you should do. We have what is called insurance banking. A lot of banks have it, so you can save little by little. So you don't have to wait till you have that bulk money before you go into business. So that knowledge, capital, collaboration are the key things you need to look out for as a youth. Those 3 things are key. And another thing you need to look out is, and I think that aspect is not really booming because, I don't know, maybe they understand it, that's the logistics aspect of farming. Okay, we have the Go-Kada, those the logistic
for other things, but they are not really much in the agricultural sector.
Exactly. So you can set up, you can write a proposal to logistics firm. that, okay, in my own community, we have a lot of logistics, and particularly here in Badagry, let's say you know that people have good products, but buying it here, because we have a lot of farmers here, so I cannot buy what I have from you.
Sure.
But people out there in the city don't have access to these things. You can play a role by moving those things down to the main market. And how do you do that? You add value. Value addition is really, really important. You add value so that along the road, you don't have spoilage of farm products.
Exactly.
So these are the things youth need to look out for. The farmers, they just want to plant, off-take, and off-takers too. Off-takers in this business, farming business, is very, very important. We can't do without them. So these are the aspects you need to look out for. When you collaborate with the right person, when you learn from the right person, that's your knowledge. When you get that and you get the capital and you know where you fit in, know your strengths. These are the things as a youth you need to do.
Thank you very much.
It felt the sun was
Yes, I know she really have a lot to say when it comes to the challenges that our youth are going to face, and I think she's been able to mention some of them, talking about acquiring knowledge as well, because, one of the things our youth need to understand is just that everything is not money, as you said. Some of us, what we look after is just, how can I start making money from it? Before you start making money from it, definitely you need to work for it. So you need to learn and acquire that knowledge that you need to use to get the money that you are looking for, and also getting the capital, getting the knowledge, getting the capital, and also look into other things that people don't do. Especially that is, you need to understand your strength. Okay, yes, I think I'm fine, I'm good in this aspect. So I think we'll be rounding up the show now, because we have something to do, and this is just 10 o'clock. So this is not going to be the end of the show. We're still going to bring you on the show, but I just wanted to wrap up the show by giving our youth out there advice. You've already set it up, but probably maybe you have a word of advice, or probably maybe a good message that you want to send to our youth, that yes, this food insecurity that we are having, they have a lot of role to play in achieving what we call food security in our nation. Just your final word when it comes to food security.
There's one thing I've always tell my people, that's my young ones. I always tell them, follow, no they pay. Do your own, make you gain.
Follow,
Always
no they
be
pay.
hungry.
Do your own, make you gain.
gain. Yes. Be hungry for more. We eat every day. So that means we will always need more. No matter how little, start small. No matter what you have, start small. Like I said, follow, no they pay. Do your own, make you gain. Thank you.
I think that is the punchline that we have today on this show. They say, follow, no they pay, do your own. No matter how small it is, start from somewhere. My name is Garova Avisolumide. Till I come your way next time on this podcast session, I say bye-bye and God bless.